Hi everyone, welcome to the SLIPS demo for LCN 2021, Stratosphere Linux IPS, a machine learning-based free software network intrusion prevention system. My name is Sebastián Garcia. I'm the director of the Stratosphere Research Laboratory in the Czech Technical University in Prague.
Hello everyone, I am Kamila Babayeva. I'm a researcher in the Stratosphere Lab and also a student in EPFL.
Hello everyone, I'm Alea Goma. I'm a researcher in the Stratosphere Research Laboratory and I'm a student in Montserrat University.
So what is SLIPS? Well, SLIPS is an intrusion prevention system, also an intrusion detection system. It's based on Python, it's free software, and it's a behavioral detection, which means it's not using signatures or fingerprints, but it's using the behavior of computers in the network in order to detect them. And part of the detection is based in machine learning, which means that can be very nice and fast and accurate when detecting new things in the traffic of your network and computer.
And in order to show you how SLIPS work, we will show you SLIPS in action. So we are going to the console and we will run SLIPS on the pickup traffic of the malware called HTBot. This is a real executed malware. So we're executing the Python file SLIPS, and we have different arguments, in our case -l and -f. -l means that there will be no logs produced, and -f is the argument to read the file, and in our case it's a pickup. So we can see how the SLIPS is starting. We have a lot of modules, and those modules are run on the traffic and detect malicious activities. And you can see there is text in red, and red means bad, so those are some malicious activities that were detected by our detection modules. But in order to analyze what SLIPS detects, we have our own interface. It's called Calypso. This is a Node.js-based console interface. So you can see on the left the profiles. The profiles are the IPs that we met in the traffic. And for each of the profiles, SLIPS generates, collects the data to generate the profile's behavior. And this behavior is the Zeek flows enriched from different Zeek logs. And you can see those flows in the timeline, which is in the center of the screen. Yes, we can scroll the timeline and you can see different flows coming out from our profile and coming in our profile. So below the flows, or below the timeline, you can see the evidence box. In this box, there are alerts that were done by our SLIPS detection modules. For example, we can see that there was an unknown, the connection to a known destination port 495 TCP. In the upper box, we have the information about the IP. So if you click on the IP in the timeline, like if you press enter on any flow of the timeline, it will display you the information about the destination IP. And this information collects ASN, geo, and various total scores. So this is the main window of the interface where you can see the profile and its behavior in the traffic, and you can see the alerts for different modules. But there are also different hotkeys in Calypso, and we will show you them in the next demo. But in total, these hotkeys, they collect the data about the flows, like the size, the duration, the amount of connection, different protocols and ports.
Now we're going to talk about the SLIPS architecture. SLIPS supports reading many different file inputs. You can give it an interface or a PCAP, an Argus binary flow, a Zeek file or folder. You can give it an nfdump file or a suricata file. It will process and reads them. SLIPS uses its own Zeek scripts, and you can plug in your own Zeek scripts if you want. SLIPS depends on profiles to process the input files. So every input file is separated into different profiles. Each profile represents an IP. And inside profiles, we have time windows. So you can be, the time window can either be an hour, 5 minutes. You can configure that in the configuration. We use Redis as our database where we store information, and we use our different modules for detections. We have around 16 different modules. We produce alert files. It's either alerts.log, alerts.json, and we have the Calypso interface. Slips has two operation modes. You can use your home network. So in this option, Slips creates profiles only for selected network, for selected device in your network. So it doesn't create profiles for stuff outside your local network. And without the home network option, it creates profiles for everything in and outside your network. We have the operation modes where you can either choose in or all. So the in option, where Slips only processes traffic going into your device. The all option, Slips processes traffic both in and out of your profile, of your network. We have different modules. One of them is the ASM module, where we get information about organization owners or IP. We have the ASM module, where we get information about the owner of IPs. We get online who is information about IPs, offline ASN information. We have the geo module, where we get the country of IP by geolocation. We have the port scan detector, where we detect vertical and horizontal port scans and flows. We have around 50 different threat intelligence files. We download and update them and manage them periodically and automatically. You can add your own list. We have the flow alerts module. This module is the one making all the decisions and detecting stuff. We detect many different stuff like successful SSH, invalid certificates, long flows, intra-3, data exfiltration, etc. We have the timeline module. This one separates Zeek flows ordered and enriched in files. We have the RNN command and control module. This one is a machine learning module. It's used for detecting command and control. We have the ARP scan detector. This one detects IPs performing ARP scans in your network. We have the HTTP analyzer. This one analyzes HTTP traffic and detects suspicious user agents and more. We have the VirusTotal module. This one gets information from VirusTotal about IPs, domains, URLs, and files. We have the blocking module. This one is optional. You can use it in Linux. It uses IP tables to block IPs. We have more features like in the reverse DNS of the IP. We can export our alerts in Slack or in sticks format. We have the whitelisting of organizations by name. So you can say, I don't want to get like any alerts or flows from google.com. So you can focus on the more important stuff and just add Google to our whitelist. And Slips will automatically ignore all flows and alerts by Google. So you can focus on more important stuff. We have the ensemble module. This one is the one making decisions whether to block or not the IPs. It's making them based on the alerts and evidence. We have the save in database option, so you don't have to analyze the PCAP or the file every time you run Slips. You can just save and load them.
Right now, we will run the second demo. We are going to the console again, and we will run Slips, in this case on the zip folder, not the pickup as before. And again, we are running it with the -l argument, which means there will be no logs. Again, we can see the Slip starting, how the modules are loaded, and we can see how Slips analyzes the logs because the number of profiles and modified time windows changed. Now we can see again the red detections, which means that there were some detections from our modules. And again, to analyze the traffic, we will go to Calypso. So we will run the Calypso. And right now, Slips is in the mode in and out, which means that we will see the connections going to our profile and from our profile. For example, in the current profile, we can see that there are connections from this destination IP. And for example, if you press the hotkey Y, there is a table which clearly shows what happens in there. For example, we see that there was a connection from the destination IP, from destination port for free TCP protocol. In the second column, we have a string. A string is the connection, or is the combination of letters. And each letter describes each flow by its size, duration, and periodicity. Then we have the DNS resolution. Those Slips collects the DNS resolution of this IP that was in the traffic. Then we have the SNI. We have the reverse DNS, and reverse DNS we ask for this IP from the internet. Then we have ASM. We have our own offline database, which is periodically updated. Then we have country, and then we have the various total scores. So we have right now 4 various total scores, and for example, the URL scores describe the malicious percentage, the percentage of malicious URLs hosted in this IP. The download means the percentage of malicious files coming from this IP. Right, the reference means that the percentage of malicious files where this IP was referenced, and the communication means the percentage of malicious files communicating with this IP. Right now, we cannot see these various total scores, maybe because the IP was not found in various total, right?
We can show you the outcome.
Maybe exactly. Yeah, maybe in the I hotkey. Yeah, we have no pressure. Oh, there. Yeah.
Yes. So in the I hotkey, we can see now the more information, and we can see right now the percentage of the various total scores, which is right now for each of them is 0.
Yes. In particular, this hotkey is for the flows that are going out of the profile, right? So this is what you are generating out in the same information as Camila was saying. So maybe we have time to show the alerts file too.
Yes, you can also analyze the traffic not only in the interface. Also, Slips generated the alerts .log and alerts.json, and those exactly show the alerts from the modules. And
now I'm going to show you how to install Slips. You can either install it in Docker or natively. In Docker, it's as simple as pulling the Docker image of Slips from Docker Hub and just running Slips. You can run it on a PCAP on your own network, it's fine. And you can also install it natively using our repository and just run our install script and just run Slips in the user interface.
We can also say that, going back to the installation, please, we can also say that this is working in Windows and in Linux and in Mac. So it should be possible to run it in all of these operating systems. So please go there, download it, use it, test it. We also have a lot of data sets that you can go and test with real attacks. Run it in your own computer, and any problem or issue, tell us in the GitHub, right? You can also, from the Docker, block traffic from your real computer, and from inside Docker, you can actually get the traffic from your network interface, right? So that should be working perfectly for you.
Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'm Leia Gaman. This is the rest of the team. This is our GitHub repository. You can go download and try it and give us feedback. This is the link to the slides.
Thank you very much, people. Thank you for staying. And if you have any questions, you can make, not here because this is a recorded video, but later we are going to be there with you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.